Okay, now we're going to be covering remote aspects that you can use in your sessions that can be used also for remote diagnosis and healing. We do teach an intensive remote healing and diagnosis class that lasts for 2 days, roughly 12 hours each day. So we can't cover all the remote diagnosis and healing material right now. This is just a couple of quick techniques you can use in a session. These are useful not only for diagnosing medical conditions, but also for discovering all kinds of things about your subject's physical, emotional, spiritual, and psychological bodies. The first thing that we're going to talk about is called a physical profile. And if you're in the session, this last session would have been a great example if you were getting a subject. When we get a subject in a session, after we start probing our sketches in the matrix, we pull out an extra piece of paper and we do what's called a physical profile. We do this every single time there's a central subject, because it will help you focus your attention to a lot of areas that you may miss while you're in that theta state trying to gather information about your subject. So you draw a gingerbread person, and you draw a line around your gingerbread person. Now, other people's gingerbread folk look better than mine, but I'm not the world's best visual artist, but so mine look like this, but it works just as well. And what you do is you systematically probe all the areas in the very center of the gingerbread man to discover things about this subject. Say this is Madonna. You may probe up here and you would get the hair colors. You might say blonde hair. And you might probe the eyes, blue eyes. You have the options of writing your data on the physical profile sheet or writing the data in the matrix and just using this as a probing template. Whatever feels more comfortable to you. Viewers do it both ways, and it's completely acceptable to us either way. You may find that, you know, Madonna has a butterfly tattoo. Not a dragonfly tattoo, that's mine alone. You can probe all kinds of things. You can probe internal portions of the body, like the heart. You might say, there's a heart murmur. Whatever you put your attention to and probe, you'll get information, even if things are good. You might get slow digestion. You may get that she has some kind of reproductory issues. So that you probe and probe and probe, and this whole thing should be just covered with dots. Good viewers, this whole thing will be covered with probe marks, and you won't even be able to see the gingerbread person anymore. And so you get as much information as possible. Now the outlying area in between the outside line and the gingerbread line, this is what we call the circle of influence, or you can use the word aura if you like. And this is what's causing this individual to feel the way they feel or to have the physical situation that they have. This may be spiritual issues. Say Madonna has a stiff neck. You get, stiff neck. When you probe on the sphere of influence, the aura around that area, you may get that it's old issues with her father that are manifesting there in the neck. Oftentimes, physical things have some kind of spiritual or psychological or emotional component, and this is a good way to identify those areas. Now, you may also get very physical things in the sphere of influence. Say she was in a motorcycle wreck and had a busted knee. So you have here old knee damage. So maybe it happened when she was 20 years old or something. So when you probe here, you may get that was some kind of accident with the vehicle.
Question.
Yes, Mimi?
If you see colors when you're probing there, does certain colors mean certain...
In the sphere of influence, yes. Oftentimes you might get colors, things that might refer to the chakras. Whatever you get, just make sure you write it down, and later on you can usually put it together. Sometimes if you get, red is usually associated with some kind of painful situation or release. Those kind, yeah. Wayne?
Yeah, I got little bug-like creatures with little legs. I wondered if somebody had crabs in that.
You got little bug-like creatures with legs?
I got a little lizard with
In your Madonna session?
I did.
Oh my gosh, well, you were getting septic.
I got a little lizard-like thing.
A sperm, yeah. But
Oh, it could be the sperm, right, exactly.
that little legs come out and stuff.
Got a little
Wow.
creature there.
If your whole session's 100%.
Yeah, am I, well, we've never given that out, so who knows? Only Madonna's doctor knows for sure. Or lover, yeah. Only her lover knows for sure. So you probe as much as you can inside and outside the person's sphere of influence. You can also probe on the line if you like to see if there's anything on the skin level. The more you probe, the better data that you'll get. And you should do this with every central subject that you get. If you're getting a crowd of people in your session, you're not going to want to do one of these for every person. That's impractical. Only when you sense that there's somebody who's integral to what's occurring, then you would want to do one of these. Yes, ma'am.
I know for me when I'm like probing or feeling somebody's aura or something, I get pictures or influence of other people. Do you pick up like the...
Yes,
of other
yes you
people?
will. You'll get a sense of other people. You may probe over here and feel that, oh my gosh, she's got digestive problems because of a relationship that's not going well with her lover, and you might get information about him too. So it can pull a lot of tangential information into the equation. Yes, sir?
If you feel people's auras, just physically, and they have anything wrong, and you also feel something in there.
Right.
Is that the same thing?
It's the same thing.
But I haven't tried to get like
Specifics.
where the cause is.
Right.
Just try to get it out of the aura. That's interesting.
Yeah, if you go for the cause, you can get that when you're doing the same kind of aura work.
Yeah, she was doing that last night.
Yeah.
You can get undigested food,
Absolutely. You can figure out what they ate, their last meal. We get that all the time.
muscle cramps,
Muscle cramps, exactly.
necrotic tissue.
Right?
Can you do this on deceased people also, or just isn't live people?
Oh my gosh, we could give you out right now. I mean, I wouldn't give out anybody here to the class as an objective. I could give you out as the objective.
I mean,
Sandy,
like
taking the
that.
class.
Any sentient being.
Any sentient being.
Can you do this on a dead person?
Oh.
Sentient?
But they don't have so much wrong with them.
Well,
You get that they're dead.
you get the skeleton and you get the physical features of the dead body or the skeleton or what's left.
Well, if you want
The sphere of influence, I mean, there's always a residual, even with dead bodies. So you're going to get whatever is there, but you're going to know it's the person's dead. That's for sure. You'll know
they were
that.
alive.
We do it. Like missing people. We do one of these, absolutely, because then you know immediately if the person's alive or dead.
How does it show up? Just
You probe it once and you're like, ooh, dead body.
Probe the heart,
Probe the heart.
not beating.
Yeah.
Probe the brain,
It's not alive.
not alive.
You just know, yeah. Once you probe it, you feel the cold gray skin. It's gross.
It's real gross.
It's real gross. It can be very gross to do the dead bodies. Yeah. It's nasty
This is
stuff.
very good for gender probing.
Very good. Oh,
Yes. Probe,
Yeah.
probe the gender.
probe the gender. Yep.
You know, one time I was doing your system and I had
Yeah.
put targets in a drawer and I was pulling them out after I did the thing. And I forgot that I put my dog in there as one of the targets. So I did, and I got a subject, so I was doing one of those. And I totally thought it was human. So I'm like, going, he has a beard. And then when I got to the gender zone, I put this huge long one and it was like the tail. Like, oh my God, it's like...
You know, what's real interesting, I did these somebody who had artificial limb.
Right.
Right away, you know. Right away.
Yes.
Put the probe in and, oh my God, that's not flesh.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And even if you're not sure your subject's a human, still do the same shape. If you are doesn't matter what the shape is. It's going to tell you something about appendages, something about head and heart. It's all relative. So, like people that have done this on me, they'll get my hearing problem, they'll get my bad ankle, they'll get
That's so sad.
what?
Your hearing and your ankle.
She's such an empath.
We're just we all have junk wrong with our bodies.
Work on your hearing.
Sad.
My hearing thing, yeah.
Because you're so busy with everything.
What?
You don't hear it, I know. But you're too busy with everything else, that's why you keep putting it off.
Well, and there's so many other people more worthy. My hearing problem, whoop-de-doo. It's static right
Except
now.
for if it gets worse.
Yeah, if it gets worse, then I gotta get the viewers to work on it. But I have to do a project on that anyway. But So many things to view, other things that seem so more pressing, people that, you know,
Fingers
You
and
have to make
toes,
time for yourself.
because they're not represented, but they're there.
well, yeah, the fingers and toes are there. Everything, you know, this is very rudimentary photograph, or drawing, but you should check all the fingers, because sometimes people have missing fingers, so they've got unusual jewelry. You'll pick up jewelry and stuff that they're wearing. If it's something that they do, like if I wore the same jewelry every day, you'd pick that up right away. You know, people's like wedding rings, or you know, things like that, watches that they wear all the time. It'll show up as something electronic maybe, or electromagnetic here on the wrist.
Have you done this to an ET?
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
Really?
Yeah, you probe. There's nothing there.
We've done this to Bill Clinton.
We've done this to Bill Clinton.
There's nothing there.
Tastes like chicken.
Not like voodoo dolls. Ow!
It is a lot like voodoo. I mean, we use this in remote healing. This is a good way to diagnose all kinds of conditions. If you take our remote healing program, we do have very specific drawings that you probe that have all the systems of the skeletal system, the muscular system, the organs, all that stuff. Yes, Alex?
Is it possible for you to tell a person's personality by probing that?
We do that. Yes, you can probe the brain and tell personality, but we do that on the consciousness maps, which we're doing next. So that's the physical profile. Any more questions on this? Okay. Next thing you should do if you...
They're going to do one, right?
Yes.
Leave that up then.
Oh yeah, good idea. I'll do it on the next board over here.
Yeah.
I just wasn't on these two boards. Okay. Okay. Now the next thing that you want to do if you've got a subject is to do what we call a consciousness map. And this is a way to determine what is going on inside your subject's mind. So we call it a CM, and there's two parts to it. The first part is a circle with an X through it, and this represents your subject's mind. And there are 4 points here: CC, CT, SC, and ST. And then you make 4 columns. And what you do, CC stands for conscious condition. This is the condition of the person's conscious mind, how they feel on the conscious level. Like right now, I would be alert, awake, happy, content, focused, just my general overall mental state. CT is my conscious thoughts, and these are the literal thoughts coming through my mind right now, the literal thoughts, which might be my actual words that are coming out of my mouth right now, what I'm thinking of saying next, talking about consciousness maps, things like that. SC, this is your subconscious condition, and this is how I am under the surface. And everybody here has all kinds of things that motivate them, that get them to do the things that they do, and that's all on the subconscious level. So my subconscious condition, and oftentimes, and with most people, unless you're very enlightened or extremely introspective, this is very different from your conscious condition, because this is where all their baggage comes in. So my subconscious condition, maybe I have self-esteem issues, or worried, or unsure about the future, lonely, whatever, all those kinds of things that people have under the surface. And subconscious thoughts, these are the things that you tell yourself under the surface, and they're things that kind of bubble up and then they eventually erupt into your mind. And these kinds of things might be, some people's subconscious thoughts are so sad, like I can't stand myself. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough.
Gotta get out of here.
Gotta get out of here. All those kinds of things. You may get really funny ones in here, like I'm hungry, or I've got to pee. Whatever has not quite hit the surface yet, but it's there.
Why is she looking at me?
Why is she looking at me? Yeah. So those are kind of all the things. Now, if you're looking at somebody who's very enlightened, if I were to give you the Buddha, all of these would be so similar. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the columns, because somebody like that's fully integrated. Animals don't have the same kind of mental breakup that we do, and their columns will look very similar too. And the way we do this procedure, it's very simple. You take your pen and you put it in the center of your subject's mind. You put it in the center of your subject's mind, and then you pull out their conscious condition. And you can do it more than once. You pull it out. You pull out what their conscious condition is. So I'll put happy. This will be Madonna's. Okay, let's look at the last one. Focused.
Every time you pull a pen,
Nervous.
you get a thought.
Every time you pull the pen up, you're literally pulling it out of your person's mind. Now, conscious thoughts. Oh, baby. Maybe I shouldn't go any farther. Yeah. Yeah, he's hot.
He's hot.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
Well, you got what's his name? The guy she married in the kilt, right?
Yes.
So
He's hot.
He's hot. It's a him. We're looking at her thoughts.
Right, it was her, yeah, she was with a male that time.
Right, exactly. That's why we're. Yeah.
That time.
Okay. Use your imagination for the rest of these. If we didn't have little kids in the room, I would really get fun with this. And you're like a big kid. You're like a grown-up practically, okay? I don't want to say little kid. I feel bad saying
There's
that.
still a familial relationship there.
We just don't have time to really go into it though.
But just think all the kids will be watching the tape.
That's right.
All of his friends.
All of his friends, yeah.
I saw more tapes the other way.
You'll be hiding it.
Could sell more tapes the other way, exactly.
PG-13.
I know, yeah, it's a strange dynamic. Okay.
Usually the thoughts are in the first person.
Yeah, this is like literally what's coming out of their mouth or about to come out of their mouth, or they're thinking but not saying.
The conditions are usually feelings.
And now,
So what's the difference in the, the condition and subconscious?
Yeah, the
and subconscious thought is that.
yeah, the subconscious condition is the overall condition of your subconscious, like all of the
State of mind.
the state of mind underneath the surface, whatever it is that's motivating you, and the thoughts are the little. I'm
Yeah.
burping again. The kind of the things that bubble up to the surface.
Like the condition would be more like the long-held beliefs, and then the thoughts would be more
Yes.
temporary, maybe?
Yeah. Like for example, here we go.
Tired.
Subconscious condition.
Is that true?
Performance anxiety.
She's gonna be tired after all that.
Yeah, tired, fatigue,
Weary.
weary, issues with father.
So some of them might be changing, and some might be more on that part.
At the moment.
This is at the moment. So moment to moment, people are different. And when you're in the middle of like a sexual act, like Madonna, whatever your motivations are may be different than your motivations when you're like working or when you're
Okay, all right.
doing something different.
You were getting entities in that situation.
Say that again.
Possession and
Like possession?
Not necessarily put influence, at least entities influence.
Say that again.
Entities.
Entities.
And the
Do you-
Do you ever get into?
And the subconscious condition.
Do we ever run into entities? You mean
Yeah, that are influencing.
that are buried in the subconscious?
Well, we have looked at a couple of cases where people claim to have been possessed, and we just got a lot of messed up stuff here. We didn't get entities per se. Sometimes you get issues like with this all the time in subconscious condition. You get like issues with other people, like if say somebody had been molested as a kid, or they just never felt that they lived up to their parents' expectations. I mean, so those kinds of things so many people have experienced. So you get that, that kind of entities, where people are represented by whatever actions they placed on you when you were younger. Influences. Sometimes people right now, if you do someone a woman and she is in a domestic violence situation, you'll get a lot of just really messed up stuff here with their current lover, abuser, and old patterns and crap.
Feeling, because there's the love and
Right.
the hatred.
Yeah, you get really messed up, really different, divergently different.
What belief systems?
Yeah, you get that here too.
Religion and
Yeah,
religious beliefs.
you might get motivated by religious fear, or you might get
I guess that's kind of what
that kind of stuff. You get a lot of that. Every person's so different, but there's a commonality. Yes, Scott.
Convictions would seem to go under that one. The convictions we all carry in life.
Right, that's
Sometimes
right.
those convictions are conscious and sometimes they're subconscious.
Exactly. Sometimes they're both. They come up both ways.
Yeah,
Or
they're-
your cultural convictions
Yeah.
would be there. Black people versus white people versus people from India.
Yeah, you'll get, if your objective is something that is addressing that person's mind in that area, that'll come up. You don't get literally everything in their mind.
You get about this much.
You get about this much stuff because at moment to moment, everybody has got whatever that's activated.
You can continue to draw things out.
You can sit on one column for an hour, heck, and keep pulling stuff out till you get their whole mind, essentially. But the first things that come out are what's most representative of that objective. Like Madonna having sex, it would be that sexual encounter and her motivations, subconscious motivations for having sex, and how she feels about her lover, all that kind of stuff would come out. Does that make
Somebody
sense?
might say, I don't want to have a baby, but subconsciously.
Right,
want to have a baby.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they have an accident.
Right. That's right. Exactly. And then subconscious thoughts. Do I look fat? You know, she's naked, you know. Or,
Doing this right?
yeah. Does he like it?
I don't think she thinks about him that much. I think she's more concerned about her.
Oh, well, I'm just, you know. Yeah.
He would be.
Usually when you repeat the thought or you repeat the consequence, it's time to move on.
Right.
Yes, that's generally true in the whole process.
Exactly.
Now, this, as you can see, is a good tool for psychological diagnosis. It's also a tool for healing. If you have someone who is, you know, if you're doing this in a healing session and you've gotten the person's permission ahead of time to take some kind of action while you're viewing them, you can do this in reverse. If it's somebody who has issues with their father and they've not been able to drop it and it's something that's ongoing in their life, you can send them the love or the ability to overcome that. And you do it just by writing down what you want them to overcome, or I do it just by sending a lot of love to that one area so that they have the strength to deal with it themselves. Okay, whatever your thought is, you circle it. And the act of writing it down and circle it pulls your own intention together so that you're able to, it becomes real, exactly. And you just circle it and then you insert it. You always insert it on the bottom half of this because this is the person's subconscious mind. If you inserted it in the conscious part of the conscious mind, they may think of it for a second, but it would just float back out. So you got to insert it on a deep level, and the way we do it is by constantly circling it and inserting it until you feel like this thing is kind of taken on a life of its own. Now, a lot of our viewers do this as part of remote healing, and it's extremely effective in cases of addictive behaviors or negative patterns, habitual situations, or any other kinds of healing. You can do the same on the physical profiles to target the area where you know there's an issue and send whatever kind of healing, thoughts, or energy you want to that person's appendage or whatnot. Yes, ma'am?
Do you do this in a theta state?
Yes. Yes, you do. You do this with as clear a mind as possible. You don't want to be rushed. You don't want to be thinking about other things. You want to have as pure a mind as possible, because when you're actively thinking about this person on this kind of a micro level, all your crap is there too, and you don't want to leave that behind. So you want to have as pure of attention and thoughts as possible going into this.
The more you do it, the more it's there.
Right.
What would you use, for instance, if a person wanted to stop cigarette smoking and they asked you to help them?
I would start by giving them the strength to overcome the addiction themselves. But then I would start sending, I'd also
How would you do?
yeah, I would write that down, the strength to stop, blah, 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 blah. Circle it
Insert it.
and keep inserting it. I would also put thoughts in the subconscious thoughts. I'd start sending things up the subconscious thought level about, things. The thing you have to keep in mind is that you want to bring balance. You don't want to take away something from a person because then they begin to fixate on it. It's attachments, that's just Buddhism 101. The thing you push away is the thing.
Can you find out why they're smoking?
Yeah, it'll show up here, why they're smoking. If you task why they're smoking, it'll show up here. Then you can work on that level, and you can send them thoughts that would help bring them into balance. You might want to send them, whatever. Yeah, it really depends on what shows up down here.
How would you word it? How would you address it? Like you're looking at the person and just say, I see you being strong, having fun without cigarettes, or would you just say, strength, or how would you word it?
Healthy thoughts, wanting to live a healthy lifestyle.
Would you
that
put it
kind
in
of.
Cigarettes.
I wouldn't even bring up the word cigarette or smoking in whatever I did, because that's just bringing attention to it either direction. It's just, it's the intent, but you want to think about it in terms of balance and in terms of bringing this person into a holistic balance. So you might want to have them start thinking subconsciously about wanting to live a healthy lifestyle. Wanting to take care of themselves.
Would you word it, do you see them? I'm talking about as the healer. Would you word it like, I see you?
You do it. You do it in the first person because it's thoughts you want them to have for themselves. So, I am healthy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I whatever, yeah.
And you've had success with smoking.
We've had success with all kinds of addictive disorders and weight loss, absolutely. Weight loss, smoking, people who are obsessive compulsive, people with depression. This is extremely helpful for depressive disorders.
My goodness.
Yeah. We've got a woman who is a psychotherapist, a hypnotherapist as well, and she had been dealing with this man. He's in his late 80s. This is Helen's client. And she was supposed to be here, but she had something else come up, so she couldn't make it, but she doesn't talk about it. But he had been depressed had been our client for 10 years. He just wrestled with serious depression his whole life. Serious depression, just couldn't get past it, and had seen all kinds of people. And he found some relief in some of the hypnotherapy she was doing with him, but then she started doing this with him. And within 3 sessions that she did on him, he felt like a different person completely. Completely different person. He felt like a sense of love just coming to him every day. And he was starting to get the energy to go out and do things by himself instead of just keeping locked up in his house all the time. So,
She did this front-loaded?
yes. You can do this front-loaded as part of a, whatever kind of practice you do.
Just sending love alone. That was
Yeah,
what they do, huh?
that's right.
Into that one section there and not into the other.
You only do
That
it,
center part.
yeah, just below the line.
Okay. I know whether you divide it off like into the subconscious.
Condition, I kind of put it in between the two, but if I want the person to be like, it's like doing affirmations, that changes your behavior. If you want a person to be operating on affirmation level, then you want to write the affirmations here, put them into subconscious thoughts, because then it'll start floating up. Yes, sir?
Can you just start with the conscious map for somebody?
Yes, you can start the consciousness map for someone.
Okay, and can you do that with the physical profile sheet also? Or do you have to?
Yeah, it's always more detailed when you do it as a full session, but you can start with the physical profile, and we do that actually in the healing sessions. We have a very, very short version that we do of the initial session.
Especially if it's a repeat healing.
If it's a repeat healing, then you do just the physical profile or the. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can do it on yourself. Yeah, you can have yourself be a better viewer
You do it on your spouse.
if they give you their permission.
Teasing.
Always
get
Yeah. You will want sex tonight. You will want sex tonight.
What about if it's
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Bob.
Take out
Okay,
the
a
garbage
person
and
who's
do the laundry
depressed
and should be
because
able
of serious issues with their mother.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you,
to be a good
You give them the strength to deal with their mother, even if the mother is like the world's most nosiest, pickiest, negative,
is she a
carping person, You just give them the strength and the love to have compassion for that person and to see the person, you know, on a spiritual level. You send those kinds of thoughts to the person. You can't change the other individual.
Cigarettes. Do you want to mention mother though, or do you just want to say?
I wouldn't even mention the mother. I would just say the love and the strength to deal with any kinds of any kind of incidences, and the compassion for all humans, and that kind of thing. So that, yeah.
I even suppose people came for like marriage counseling.
That's right. That's right.
Permission.
Yep. We have doctors who use this in their practice.
Really?
Both sets, yes. The full healing stuff we do. That they use these things in their practice. Lots and lots and lots. I mean, hundreds of these things have been done, and a lot of success.
Well, I know it works. Prue might not know. She's helped me lose 15 pounds and helped me deal with a really messed up marriage. So,
There you go.
I know that it works.
Yeah.
Since Urban.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then since January, you helped me with my husband. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Say if somebody was unconscious or something and their family came and wanted to, do you feel that there's sort of a spiritual permission that you can get, or a heart,
Yes.
with the person's relative, get a heart cord going there, and then according to the person's heart, is there a spiritual permission you figure?
Yeah. Well, what we do is this. I mean, there was like one child, we worked on a child who had leukemia, and it's like a little 2-year-old. I mean, they can't give permission. So, but the parents gave permission, and so when we do the session, you just listen.
Spirit to spirit.
Right, to spirit, and you will hear we've heard this in these healing sessions, even with people that give permission. You'll hear this voice say, stop, do not go farther. It's like this person has to deal with this situation.
But consciously,
right.
Permission, but spiritually.
Exactly. And then you stop. You stop. You listen. You definitely honor that. You hear stop, you stop. Don't keep going.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to do monitored sessions now. And do you want to talk for a couple minutes about monitoring?
Sure. Okay. First of all,
Stand by me.
I'm sorry? Oh, the mic. First of all, to dispel any rumors, monitoring is very simple to do and a lot of fun. A monitor is your alter ego during the session, somebody who is not in theta state, who may or may not be informed about the objective, but who can do your conscious mind thinking for you. So you're performing the session as the viewer, and they're guiding you through the various stages. They may ask you to do prepare to do a shift in perspective, or prepare to do a shift in size, or prepare to do physical profile, or prepare to do a consciousness map, or focus on the structure and describe in vivid detail. They're giving you specific instructions during the session to enhance your session. You work in tandem. If the monitor asks you to do something, follow what the monitor is asking you to do. There probably is an ulterior reason for that. There may or may not be, but he's there or she's there to guide you through the session. I'm a very interactive monitor. There are some people who are passive monitors, and as long as you're viewing according to Hoyle and they don't interfere with the session at all. A more interactive monitor may push you along a little faster than you would normally view, or in a different direction than you would normally go. Either way is fine. It's just a style. The whole purpose is that you're working together to enhance the session. And a monitor really comes in to focus after the preliminaries are over, and once you've completed a couple of passes of the matrix, because that's when you get into a lot of optional procedures, and the monitor is in usually in their left brain conscious mind, and they're there to guide you through those procedures. You may forget because you're in theta to do a focus exercise, or to do a shift exercise, or to do a timeline, or the monitor may have specific instructions to get you to do something during the session. Follow the monitor's directions. don't question what the monitor has to say, and just kind of go with the flow. The monitor's going with the flow also. And the monitor is writing down, following. When you were watching the professionals monitor yesterday, you saw that they were jotting the session down along with the viewers. That's because they were keeping track of the session. Often, a viewer will skip a couple of things, writing them down. The monitor will catch those and get them down. On an operational level, both the monitor's, which is called the monitor's script or the monitor's session, and the viewer's session are sent in together. And the analyst has both pieces or both documents to work from. So if there's a missing piece on the viewer's session, the monitor's session will fill in that missing piece. There are times on an operational level where the viewer will declare, I'm going paperless, because they're deeply connected and they're giving a lot of technical data, and they can't be slowed down by writing things down. So they declare that they're going paperless, and the monitor will then assume the responsibility of writing every single thing down that the viewer says.
Are there any times you guys like audio tape when they do that? With
Yes.
a record of...
Yes, we do that also. Often it's done over the phone, and it's the monitor's responsibility to tape that. It's also the monitor's responsibility to write these things down and to follow along.
There's special adapters for tape recorders for your phone. It's like $30 in the Radio Shack.
The monitor's with you or on the phone with you?
Monitor's on the phone. If you do, it's being done over the phone.
Right, exactly. Halfway around the world.
Exactly, halfway around the world.
Yeah.
And you know, we have some viewers in Europe and some viewers as far away as Hawaii and
Australia,
and they'll get on the phone together, and it's like they're in the same room. So they're just working out together.
Which advantage would you give a session with a monitor over a non-monitor?
Oh, I would never attribute a monitor session being better than a solo session. Every session stands on its own merits. And you get what you get. That's our mantra.
You get what you get.
Whatever you get, you get.
And it's perfect for you in that moment.
The monitor may be there to extract certain specific pieces of data. Like the session we're about to do that's monitored, the monitor is going to have some specific instructions. And the monitor, I believe, will be informed?
Partially, maybe.
It's going to be partially informed, not fully informed. It'll be only informed as to...
So it'll be VB MPI.
Right.
Monitor partially informed. And
we have teams already assigned.
Any questions on monitoring?
I can find my...
We don't expect you to be perfect. Yes.
At what point do you start vocalizing? I was watching someone doing a demonstration. What point does the viewer start vocalizing the data?
Immediately when on page 2, as soon as they've got an ideogram and start to decode that ideogram, the viewer is talking to the monitor. And the monitor may never talk back to the viewer, but may start to talk back right away, depending on how vocal you are. But the monitor, the viewer will vocalize the session immediately and describe everything in the session that they're doing to the monitor.
In the beginning, when you're unsophisticated monitor, wouldn't you tend to lead the viewer?
Monitoring is a skill, just like viewing is a skill, and what we want monitors to do is to think about what they're going to say to the viewer, because you can think. You're not in theta, and you've got your brain functioning normally. Think about how you're going to say it. And you never try to tip your hand or lead the viewer anywhere. Let the viewer take you. But you may need the viewer to turn at a right angle or to go back in time. And that's fine. But don't say, don't lead the viewer like a lawyer might lead a person in the in the box.
I'll give you a good example
Good.
from my own experience viewing. This was very, very early on when I first learned remote viewing, and my objective was the first presidential announcement that aliens exist. And so I was describing some kind of, big press situation, and there was a big crowd of people, and there was a central government type official who was standing somewhere, but I wasn't getting like the actual announcement. I was just getting all the stuff around it, and then my monitor was getting really frustrated with me. Finally she says, "Move to the presidential announcement and describe." Then, man, did I get a presidential announcement.
You never want to tell the viewer something that the viewer doesn't know.
You only point out if they've gotten a subject, then you can ask them questions about the subject. If they've gotten a mountain, ask them questions about the mountain.
Yeah, if they forget something and you know they've forgotten it, you can ask them to do that thing if you determine that it's important to the session. We may never need to know the subject's color of their eyes.
You make a
Is
list
that
of
an
it.
example of bad monitoring or good monitoring? When she
That's
told you-
bad.
That was bad monitoring.
How should she have done that?
Move to the main event.
Yeah, she would say, why don't you move to the event and describe, or what is the central person doing? Describe what the central person is doing. Yeah. Now here's the teams we've got set up. Joyce, you're going to monitor Alex this first session. We're going to do one session, and then you guys are going to swap roles for the next session after this, so everyone will get a turn. So you're going to monitor Alex. Now, Wayne, you're going to monitor Mimi. Okay, Eva, you're monitoring Sandy.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, you guys are going to have fun. I know. Okay, Fortune, you're going to monitor Bob.
Who's Bob?
Bob?
You're Bob.
Okay, Bill, you're monitoring Scott.
So who's the viewers? Raise your hands.
If you're a viewer, raise your hand.
Leave the room.
All viewers leave the room. Oh,
Okay, which one?
viewers leave the room. Monitors stay.
Go to the bathroom. So I'm on.
Viewers go into the lobby.
Yeah, you're a viewer. Get out.
Viewers go into the lobby. We'll call you back in.
Yeah, Wayne.
I wanted to make a comment that
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We'll bring everybody back in.
We'll bring her back in. You make the comment. Yeah.
Aren't you monitoring
I'll be
Bob?
back in 10
Bob, you gotta go out in the. Oh, I thought I was monitoring.
Oh, who's monitoring? Great to the left.
Want to go over it
We
again?
both don't know.
Who's monitoring the big Bob?
You are monitoring. Oh, Fortune's monitoring Bob,
Okay, so I thought.
and you're monitoring
Bob, you're
Scott.
doing-
You're monitoring Mimi. You're monitoring Alex, and Eva's monitoring Sandy.
Okay, so we should have 5 monitors.
What? 1, 2,
4.
3, 4, and Eva's had to go pee.
Okay.
Oh, I should keep track. I want to learn.
And can you come out with me for a minute, because I want to write down the monitor's instructions for them to.
Okay, that's my batteries in it.
They pooped out. Yeah.
They're recharging the batteries.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll take that next step.
I'm turned on.
Your objective.
Yeah, really. Okay. The directive is smelly elephant toes.
Smelly elephant toes?
Yes.
Okay.
And the tag is 7610 9225. Now, you're only going to be informed with this one small piece of information.
Yeah.
VPI. MPI. It's an event. Now, most events, there's all kinds of things going on. So the viewers will pick up different things depending on what their natural inclination is. So the one movement that you must have them do at some point after they're describing whatever activity they're picking up is have the viewer focus on the event and describe in vivid detail. So have them write in their matrix, focus on the event and describe in vivid detail.
Now this is
In the matrix, after they start probing their sketches and they're getting some good data.
After they've gone through twice.
After they're getting some kind of event or activity, too.
They know they're getting an event. They have to
Right,
do that.
yeah. If they're just getting whatever, if they're just getting like a structure or just getting a mountain or whatever, then, you know, wait till they're picking up activity.
Describe in vivid detail. When
They'll get, this is the kind, you know, this is the kind of tasking where they'll be getting something in terms of activity or event like. They will.
Finally, something will be.
you can, like,
M1?
if they're getting off, you can say, well, what's going on over here?
Right.
Describe this further.
Exactly.
Is this an M1?
Yes.
After they start
Yes, in M1.
Okay.
After they
Exactly.
got event-like stuff,
Whatever
yes.
other thing was we saw.
Right, and then they may or may not pick up some kind of a central subject around this. They may or may not. It just depends on what aspect they're going to go to. So if they get a subject, then have them blend with the subject. And while they're blended, have them do the physical profile and the consciousness map.
Okay.
If they don't get a central subject,
No biggie.
Move on.
Just move on. No biggie. It's the kind of situation where they may just be really focused on activity and not pick up, just depending on what part of it they're going to go to.
Okay.
Either way is cool.
Which one first, either one, or?
You did
PP first.
PP first, then CM.
PP's always first.
the VP that's
The physical
Do we do this,
profile.
do we make the gingerbread man before we do the consciousness map?
Yes.
Yeah, always.
Always.
And what do we do with the gingerbread man? If we're going to just
They're going to probe. Only if they pick up a subject, then tell the viewer, okay, we're going to do a physical profile.
Set up for a physical profile.
Right.
And they'll draw a gingerbread man, you draw the gingerbread man.
So are we
And
going
then
to
they
be
go to
writing
the
everything down?
Right, after they do the gingerbread man.
and so if they don't write something down, they miss it, then you write it. But you don't have to write everything they're writing, right?
You should write
You should write everything they're writing because you're going to want to review your notes.
Okay.
You aren't going to see what they're
It could be
writing.
hard to.
Usually
Yeah, but
you
they're
are.
supposed to say it out loud.
They're supposed to say it out loud.
Ooh, that's
It'd be hard to catch
Yeah.
sometimes because people
Mumble.
and they
And laugh.
Yeah, and laugh. Yeah.
I noticed that. We have to take off our shoes and laugh.
That's right. Makes a better viewer if you're as naked as possible. I always view totally naked at home.
That was, you know, it's funny because on CRV, Lynn made some comment about how he views with his shoes off. And I
Yeah.
thought it was hilarious.
Take all your
'cause-
jewelry off.
I take everything off at home. I don't view with a stitch of anything
You
on.
use a monitor.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions on your monitors? We
This is all
will be
taped.
circulating around the room. Pair off. You got 3 monitors here, so move around.
Yeah, move around and get some
Please.
space.
We're going to come
Yes.
and observe you while you work, and we'll be talking about the viewer and the monitor.
If one group wants to go out to that little
Table up there.
table out there with the 4 chairs around it,
What were the exact terminology? Prepare to access the objective was the first one?
yes, prepare to access the objective, and then prepare to, yes,
And then what was the
prepare to
scan
the objective, right.
Okay.
No, I don't know. What?
Go to your collector, go to your general
Prepare
sketch,
to access.
set up a matrix.
Okay.
Okay, what was it, prepare to access, prepare to scan?
Right.
Say, set up the matrix.
Go to your collector, go to your GS,
Go to the matrix.
go to the matrix.
Down so nobody can get them.
Prepare
I'll be
to
like, what was the word
prepare to
again?
shift your awareness.
Okay,
So we set on
scans,
each scan, set up scan 1, scan 2, scan 3.
transit,
Yeah.
in case she
Each.
forgets.
And then,
Scan.
I always forget the order of stuff. I get so excited in the middle of it. It's like, oh, no.
Then
Well, you got to be in your conscious mind. None of you are
Using headsets.
using headsets.
Only viewers use headsets on this.
And then it'll be
General
after the
sketch.
scan, so we can set up the.
matrix. Well, it might be
Then do their
Well,
main drawing.
Yeah.
And the main drawing comes. The main drawing comes before the.
Pay
main
no attention to
Right,
anything.
right.
So many things. ESP,
General scan. That's what.
practice CAD. I got it. That's my.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that's yours. I'm not sure that's
Yeah,
probably
that's
take it. Take it. Oop, take it.
Okay, let's get things
That's
to
my
data.
clean one. Maybe I'll translate
I'm bringing them back in.
later. It's like, please see the one.
Then, so it's a matrix. There. Then after 2 scans through this, we start giving them the direction
Matrix
for
and then
movement
there's,
for,
what's after matrix?
either if they don't have
Just
the
more
subject.
matrix on
like
general.
You all have watches?
Yeah.
Now we're going to start probing after we do
You all
that.
have watches on?
Nope.
I do.
No.
Does everybody have watches?
No.
Watch.
No and
I
no.
have one. I have one. I have.
It was great not having a watch.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Great having one. I
If I really need to know something, I've got the car.
3 o'clock. I got the
I've got my cell phone if I need to know the time. I have a watch in my purse.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's give them 15 minutes. We are
do the
15 minutes for cool down. Use your watch. Well, 15 minutes for cool down.
Are they sitting down now?
No, they're not. They're coming here. So you need to pair off as soon as you come in.
We'll find out. Standing with you.
Oh my gosh, it's 3.
Yeah, excuse me.
How are we going to get all this done? Jeez Louise. I had a watch.
Somebody else if you don't want to.
You got 8:30.
I gotta take her all the way home, all the way back to the airport, go through all that crap.
What time do you have to leave, Phil?
Gotta catch a plane at 8:20.
I know what time to leave here, though.
I'll get about 4:30.
4:30, okay.
How long's the class going to go? If anybody else can down that way.
Since you're in Seattle, would you like to come to one of my meetings sometime?
Did
Sunday
you
morning
want
meetings every
to,
other-
did you want to go out and do it in the? Thank you, Mayor.
I know, it's a dinky dinky watch.
I like it.
Me too. It's the only watch I can bear wearing because it's kind of like overwhelming on my wrist.
Maybe if anybody else going to the airport.
And you got
By you.
this. We will do as good a session as.
That's right.
All right, Sandy. Where would you like to do your session?
It's up to you.
No, you're the viewer. So
Actually,
would you like to go outside in another
starting
room
in
and stay here, or?
Do you want me to use my CD player? Do you want me to use my CD player?
Well, yeah, but we have to do a cool down. Oh, okay.
Where's your monitor?
So wherever you feel more comfortable.
That'd be better.
Just pair up, guys.
Which service were
I
you
wanted
in?
to, I could wait till after the session to make my comments.
You want this chair over there?
Yeah,
I can hear it. I can hear it. Which
Okay,
service?
Air
Just
Force.
tell me. Yeah, you friggin' sue me.
Yeah, yes, or side by side.
Oh, yeah, that.
I'll move this.
When was your move out to the?
We have somebody out there already.
How about here? Okay, thanks. Alex?
There you go.
What was your name again?
Scott.
Scott.
Why don't you guys go over here in this corner so that you're kind
Bill.
of away from the other two groups?
You want to go over there?
Yeah, is that okay?
My code name is Commander.
I'll get the next one.
I don't need to write that down, do I? Yeah, you do. Come on.
Hey, that looks slick. You ready?
Here?
Directly to snowy elephant toad.
There you go, okay?
Keep the paper out.
You informed or person? I'm partially informed. Monitored by MIT. MPI. What's your, I'll give you that later. I'll give you- 76109225. Okay. Access your objective. Go ahead to the next page. And again, 76109225 scan. Oh, you're supposed to be talking out loud, and I'm supposed to be recording it too. Unlike the usual situation.
Okay, it's a wavy line.
Okay.
It's up and down.
Okay.
It's energetic. Under B,
Okay.
it's natural. It's bright. It's hot. It's quick.
What is your name?
Black sky.
Soft blue.
Smelly elephant toes.
Powerful. It's a multitude.
Okay.
It's electric.
Pardon? Pumpkin.
Electric.
You don't have to write D though. So you don't. Okay. Just the words. Okay. Okay. Any sounds? D. Next
Crackling.
And smells or tastes?
Thunder.
Thunder.
Taste ozone.
Great.
Okay. I'm ready for the sketch.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, step 2. And the number is 76109225.
It's a sharp obstacle. Point. Pointed tip. Sharp downstroke. It's wide at the bottom. It's mountain.
Natural or man-made, I guess.
Natural.
Okay.
tracks. It's among others. The valley below. The road around it, road on it.
Any other senses, sounds, tastes, smells?
It's raining. Smell grass. And there's some pink. And there's a glow. Clouds. It's outdoors. It's evening.
You probably go ahead to your sketch.
Cactus.
You can talk about what you're seeing too if you want.
It's a town. Tall buildings. Houses. Cars.
Okay, prepare for scan 3. And it is 76109225 scan.
Wavy lines. Curved tops. Peaks and valleys. Smooth.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the peaks and valleys? Do you have any more information?
They're rounded.
They're rounded.
What makes you say peaks and valleys?
Up and down. Peaks and valleys.
Up and down are better words than peaks and valleys.
Okay, up and down. Rounded top. Up and down. It's water. Man-made. It's natural. It's falling. It's cool. Storm. It's fast. Stings.
What's that?
Constant dialogue.
It's on the ground.
Constant dialogue. And fast, is that, do you know what is fast? Just got that impression.
Falling fast. It's wind.
Okay. Actually, we're kind of repeating the last one. You might want to go ahead with your sketch. Unless you think you can pull some more information out of it. Go ahead and describe what you see, too.
There's a mountain. Road standing by the road.
It's not necessarily.
It's raining. Town below. Lighting.
All right. Move on to the open collector.
It's rain. It's wet. Stormy. Mountains.
Move on to D.
Yeah.
Multiple bolts. Lightning storm.
And
Electricity.
how about your
I'm doing another.
subject you had there? Anything about him?
Man. He's alone. He's watching.
And your other sensories? Anything else?
Ozone smell. Bright lights.
Now. Want me to now?
Clouds. Valley below.
You had something winding up the mountain too. Is this a road?
Road. On mountain.
With rocks or something there.
Rocks on mountain.
The town, you want me to talk about that? You want to enter that? Does that feel accurate?
Town below. Lights on. It's dry.
there was a glow. Was that from the town below, or was there another glow?
There's glow in the clouds. It's pink. Wind.
It's a sphere within this.
Is there any motion by the, any of the, either the subject or anything, besides the rain? You've already described that.
Man is still. The rain is falling. Clouds are moving.
Is there a pattern to them?
No.
Ready for the general sketch?
She's, yeah, like in the background, like a straight sheet of light.
On to the next thing. Understand?
Okay.
All right. Now we're on to the matrix. Go ahead and say those out loud.
Sensorial or ozone, smell of ozone. Magnitude, there's many. Topological data, tall. Energetics, that's electrical. Subjective.
What feelings are there, Scott?
I got one,
Being weather, so I don't know.
That's not a feeling.
I know, but weathers don't have
There's a
that.
concept, move over to concepts and put weather. Same line.
Oh,
Weather, concept. Now move back to subjective and probe it again. Probe. You'll get the word if you probe.
this is the subjective for the subject in your, you have that one person.
These are some of the subjectives. What
Angry.
feelings are there? Angry?
angry.
Subjective would just, if you had a subject person, you should list the person, right?
Not under physical.
Okay, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the next column.
So this is the feelings of the subject.
Well, it's just the feelings you mix up. You don't know where they're from.
Okay. Physical. All the things you had in that you can name. Third, just do one.
Look at your scans. What do you have that's physical in your scans?
You have a whole bunch of physical stuff there.
What's this?
It's a town. I'm standing on a road.
It's a what?
Person standing on a road.
We call
It's
it
a town.
We call it a subject. We don't know if it's a person yet or not.
That's a subject.
Okay, what's all this?
Rain clouds, lightning.
Okay, that's weather.
Rain.
You already got that. So we're at subject. Where's your GS? Get that out of it. Okay, so what do you got going on there?
Mountain, thunderstorm.
Mountain storm, city
Get that
below.
out. Get mountain under physicals.
Just right below.
Right below it, immediately below it. You already got weather. It's a concept. Okay. Paraphysicals. Probe for paraphysicals. Just probe the column. Yes or no?
I'm not feeling anything.
Right now. Move on to concepts.
No symbols.
No need to number on an open collector.
No?
No. What do you feel in your body when you touch that?
Nothing.
Don't we do another matrix?
I see some sort of aircraft.
Okay, what makes you think aircraft?
Hard.
Okay.
Dark. It looks like it. It looks like
I forgot how far we can go with this.
We're just going one pass through the matrix, but then don't want to do a second one.
Why don't you go ahead and start probing your sketch here and start describing what's this stuff?
Just probe each sketches in any which way you feel like.
You know, what's going on
Whatever
here.
feels appropriate.
And write it down here, and then he'll
Below
give
this.
you some movement to do. Start describing what's in here first. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, very speedy too.
This is what. Super.
Right.
Okay.
Under subjective sensorial, it's
Make
bright.
a, I think we can line and put probing GS.
All the way across?
Yeah. That's the way I understand how to do it. And then just list them. You don't have.
Oh, you just list?
Yeah, you might number them
Oh,
up
this
here.
is the top, the 10 lists?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a 10 list. It's you number the main things that you're drawing your attention to, and then you put a number down there so we can identify what you get for it.
Oh, it's a 10 list.
It's called probing the general sketch. It's a little bit different than the matrix.
Okay.
And what did you get? You got
Bright light from flashes. Rain. Cold. Hard. Fast. Wet. Wind. Clouds. Pink sky. Evening.
so you have a
Down below.
okay. I want you to
Dry.
focus on what you think is the main event there going on, and describe in vivid detail. Write a little short paragraph. This is not.
This one I see a ball of light.
Side of road.
And his emotion. He has an emotion about it. You said describe him as something. He was feeling angry.
The weather's angry. He's okay.
Oh, he's okay.
Subject. Fascinated. Raining. Wind blown.
That's fine.
Streaks of lightning.
Streaks of lightning. Why don't you just one more, take a couple probes of that whole thing. Right below subconscious thought. And then you label those things. And then start pulling out first his conscious thoughts. Or conscious condition, I mean. See if you get anything.
Calm.
Taste, textures, temperatures, sounds, colors, smells.
Move on to the next one. Magnitudes. Conscious thoughts. Oh, you're already in there. I'm sorry. Glass view.
It's not afraid.
Not afraid. Actually, that's more of a conscious condition, I think. Thoughts would be actually what you might be. Oh, he's doing great. I'm having trouble keeping him in the right column.
All right, SC.
Yeah, subconscious condition. Probe first.
It's harmonious. Peaceful. Calm.
We have the Buddha. Anything you get there that might be a subconscious difficulty. Pull it out from the middle.
He's a little worried about something. A little.
Okay. That might be anything else, and then we'll move on to the subconscious thoughts. So a little worried. Now, what are you worried about might be the subconscious thoughts. Okay, I guess we can go ahead and move to that column. I think Drew wants us to just go from the middle out, not back and forth. That's my understanding. Oh, you've been doing great.
He's a little worried about his children.
No. How about the anything, any subconscious thoughts about the storm or the mountain or anything like that, or the town that we've seen?
He likes living there.
Oh, he lives there. In town. Likes it.
Likes being where he is. Up on the mountain. Likes being on the mountain.
Let's see. I think you're doing just terrific. Very speedy.
About ready to go home. He wants to see his wife. He's a little hungry.
That would be subconscious condition. But we could just go ahead and put it in the subconscious condition column, I guess.
Well, he's thinking he's hungry.
Oh. He's thinking about dinner.
Okay.
Okay, done. You want to drop your pen here because you want to disconnect from this guy. Disconnected.
Okay.
Great session.
Okay, we're done?
We're done, yeah.
Good Mondre.
Thanks. Down here. Good. Reception. Why don't you Right in your matrix. Okay, I'm going to give you an exercise to do.
I mean, it seems like there's a building. Kind of stuff. I don't know. Something structure.
And let things shift.
It's all done.
Let me give you a little exercise to do, unless you want to stay probing that, I can give you something else to do.
Okay.
Just write, focus on event and describe vivid detail.
Focus
Focus
on
event
event
and describe in vivid detail.
and describe in vivid detail.
Yeah, and then make it pass through the matrix with that in mind. With that.
People.
That would actually go on physicals, but that's no big deal.
Really?
Okay, just sensory stuff, taste, textures, temperature, sense. And if you get a person, just sort it over there. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
In a circle, gathered.
Okay.
Just right for me, Paul.
That's
Good mom.
was quiet. What you doing?
Anything stand out there?
I think I probably need a minimum of 4 pounds this weekend.
Coffee burns calories, that's more.
Thank you.
I know, all the good ones are gone.
Let's hope I got close this time.
You're not close every time, but this time you're going to be so.
Oh, God. Finally validate myself.
What I'd like you to do is just pick one of the people and do a physical profile sketch.
Gets us sick of it after a while.
I never get sick of junk, but I'm a little full now. I haven't eaten much this weekend. Did you ready to work on me or something?
You never know what I do.
That's for sure.
So new sheet, do a gingerbread man.
You had fun?
I had great fun.
You gonna give a good report to everybody out there? So there's a lot I could do with you.
We'll do that. We're gonna do that.
See, yeah. It's a conscious dismay. And it's going to be on the subject because you don't do it on a machine. Do something else on it. You go to CC first, okay? You go from the center out. Conscious, this conscious condition. You do it overnight until you run out.
What's this?
Conscious thought. You've done great. This now into conscious thought.
This is you need to put your monitor's name up here.
Okay.
Okay.
Above the,
Well, actually, it should be right there underneath the third thing.
okay.
This is good. Very good. What do you think you went?
I went to Mount Lemmon.
Think so?
On road up. Tucson, it was a storm coming in.
No, let's see.
Oh,
Yeah, if you move the ideogram closer to this, see how close mine are?
mm-hmm. Okay.
Almost connected. Not quite. Sometimes they are. Get them close. Okay? Don't try to center. Don't even think about what.
This would be Noah's Ark and the flood, or the beginning of creation.
Did you get a subject?
God?
Did you?
I got a subject.
Did you blend them?
No.
Did you do the BP? Did you
Um,
write down?
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't do one of those while blending.
Should or should not?
Should. Should
Okay.
blend first.
I didn't blend.
And the directive would be prepared to blend with the primary subject.
Okay, we skip that.
Yeah.
We missed that. So I'll mark down on there, then we should have done that.
Yeah, see here, I wouldn't have allowed this. I would have said, what made you think of this? I made you describe it. I wouldn't have allowed this.
Okay.
That's a name of something.
It's descriptive.
I'd rather have you describe something. Even if it took me 20 words to do it,
All right.
rather than give you one word. That's a name. I never want to see a name.
Okay.
Same thing with this. I would have said grassy, grass-like.
Okay.
But not grass. That's a name. You don't know it's grass. You didn't see grass. You might have smelled grass. Smells like grass. Feels like grass. But you didn't see grass.
Okay.
There wasn't any grass. Big glow clouds, absolutely. What's this word?
Outdoors.
Outdoors, absolutely. Evening, probably. Move this puppy over here,
All right.
right next to it. And make it fast. Good, all good stuff. and all of a sudden, nowhere in here is there a subject, but you put a subject in here.
Mm.
I would have, as a monitor, asked you, where'd that subject come from?
Okay.
It's not wrong.
But I just didn't complete it.
All you had to say was, he popped in.
Okay.
But I would have said, gee whiz, where is he? He's not here. How did he get from this to this?
Okay.
So yeah, you're a bit incomplete. You didn't add nothing to describe him. You
Okay.
just stuck him in there. So I would have seen the words. I would have had to have a subject, maybe masculine energy, maybe even just masculine energy. I would have accepted the subject. Multiple bolts. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I would not have allowed this work.
Okay.
Human. But how did you get me? That's an assumption on your part. Matter of fact, in this session, there is no one. What's this?
Alone.
Alone. Good. That's good. Watching. Very good. Ozone smell. That's the key. Bright lights. Clouds. Good. Yeah, you got a lot of good stuff. Road to mountain. You're starting to do what we call storyline here.
Okay.
Tell me a story.
All right.
This your conscious mind's trying to put it all together and tell a story. Town below.
Oh, yeah, when you
There's no town in this
I
bed.
guess
Okay.
the more you develop it, the more.
Lights on day, good. Even though you have night over here.
Let's grab Fort Shannon.
What do we got here? These are your probes of your
Probing a GS.
the GS. Okay.
Blend with subject.
You should do this on a separate piece of paper. We waste a lot of paper.
Okay.
You should go into another separate. You should do 2 passes through here. That should fill up at least 2 sheets.
Okay. Bill needs to know that.
Yeah.
Bill,
Waste a lot of paper.
we need to do a second pass, a second sheet for the matrix.
Second pass through the matrix should fill another.
2 passes through the matrix.
Absolutely, minimum of
Two-
2.
2 pages.
You actually can go more than that, but
And
minimum
then,
of
then
2.
probing the GS is on a separate page.
Yeah, but I think we did pretty damn good anyway.
You needed to also, before you get to the PP, he needs to blend with the subject.
What?
We
He
skipped
needs to
that.
blend with the primary subject.
No, I told him to put
Well, you said probe it.
It's not on here.
No, I said more for Anyway.
More for blend, it's fine, but it needs to, you would usually end up with a
I think
paragraph.
he was blended with right now.
Well, possibly, but we want that expressed.
I didn't document it.
Usually that would be a whole paragraph, sometimes a whole page of stuff. Blend with the primary subject, and then you would start to tell me, and usually in the first
No, I
person.
don't know what you mean. How could you write a whole paragraph on blending?
Oh, are you kidding?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Sometimes I'll write 3 or 4 pages in a single blend.
But what do you mean?
The command is blend with primary subject. I write that down, then I start to record. Now that I'm blended, I start to record my impressions. I feel powerful, I feel great, I feel big, I feel tall, I feel like I'm strong.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know you did that at all.
Absolutely.
Because then we go down to the thought matrix and repeat all the same things.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Well, I don't know that.
When you get down to the consciousness map, you're getting more specific data than you would get even in a blend. Sometimes it's repeated, sometimes it's not.
Yep.
I'd like to see
And then if you do it with your, cross your legs at the same time.
boom, draw an arrow down. And then line it up. See what she's done there? Lined it out.
Right,
That's what I want to see.
right.
This moderating is kind of fun. But she doesn't.
Ain't it cool?
Like I did it.
Yeah, it's double fun. It truly is double fun.
But I don't have to have any doubt I'm doing it.
Okay, guys, everybody here? You guys totally were amazing. You guys visited. Ready?
Drum roll, please.
The creation of the universe. You blended with God.
I did.
And when he said, and when the monitor said, is there anything negative? in this guy's mind, he said, well, he's a little worried about his children.
There wasn't anything negative in that
Sandy, you got something like that too.
You did great. Isn't that cool? You got to be God. Whoops, throwing water. Bob was blended with the big black hole in the sky.
It was the beginning or the end of the world and mankind and the whole creation.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what we got.
Wow, awesome. Awesome.
What did you get, Bob?
The beginning or the end of creation of mankind.
Well, you do say it's the same event, so.
Whichever.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was the actual.
That's what I wrote.
In the session.
That's actually in the session. Now, who here does not believe in remote viewing anymore? The monitors did not know what that was. They only knew, the only thing the monitors were told was that it was an event. That's it, that it was an event.
Oh, and that there would be a subject possible.
There was possibly a subject that may or may not come up.
Some people get a subject, but some don't.
The smelly elephant toes? That's just a nonsense word to start it with. Yeah.
You know what?
This is the
That's
worst
been
thing.
heated and lost its NutraSweet. I recognize that taste anywhere. That's a taste that kills NutraSweet. Because NutraSweet cannot handle high temperatures, so if you leave it out in the sun for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it tastes like formaldehyde. That's exactly right.
Well, that's what it turns
It tastes
into at
like it really is.
Yeah, it actually is, really, formaldehyde.
Not just.
Right, yeah, in your body temperature too, and so it will actually...
I want my formaldehyde to turn out not immediately, but later on.
But I got the female creating the universe, just like in your book.
That's right.
And she had popping little spiritual springs on her feet. She was making progress and happy. She had kangaroo shoes.
Alex got aliens and lightning bolts.
Wow.
He got a lot more than
He got a lot more than that.
He's got a believer down there.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Remember when you get energy, like the energy being sort of alien or being sent down at one point?
Yeah, I got Adam and Eve on Earth. It was either the beginning or the end of the Earth.
Wow. Wow.
There was a circle in the
Wow.
You had the male-female energy going.
Interdimensional.
Yeah,
he
it
had
was interdimensional. I had I had a thing in the sky that was just huge that I was morphing with, and you come around the car.
Come back.
I'm going, no! This is such a neat morph.
And he was dropping again.
That's right, you can always do it again, I know.
Because the timing was so amazing. It was just like, she's going, oh yeah, why don't you morph into it? Come time. Bill has to go or something. You're like,
Yeah, he's right.
oh, you can wait a few more hours.
Tell God you don't have time today.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. No time to be God today.
Time to be God today.
Goddess.
Amazing.
Creator
Put
goddess.
another one on layaway.
See, well,
That's right.
energy seems to flow from above.
Yep.
Oh.
Making progress kind of deal. And then she kept talking about a lot of direction. There's a direction to everything. The person seems alone, but rather spiritual aspect. Spiritual springing that helps you jump. Strength from the springing. Happy, pleased.
Excellent.
Really well.
Joyce, what kind of things did Alex get? He's so quiet over there.
Here, let's see. More to the eye than can be seen. Let's see. He started out thinking, sort of picking up that it was really a very classified project, that it could be governmental or, stuff like that.
That is great.
Mother's son.
That's right. I know.
Kind of keeping back because he kept trying to get into these aliens. He had 2 alien figures that he wanted to.
That just means non-human. Non-human. That's great.
But that was really important to him. Let's see. He described described them, and he said on one of them said he's carrying something like a loaded rifle, but he'll never shoot anybody.
Wow.
Really,
Wow.
Do no harm.
Do no harm. Excellent, Alex. Excellent.
Remember you said do no harm
I
in
said
that.
right here, no harm, harm no one.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
you have the sense that they're not from here, and you got the solar system, and let's
Wow,
see.
solar system. Dude, that's good.
It was desert-like. when this machine was like, had the energy inside of it that was inside this structure, and it was doing something like, it harnessed something like lightning bolts, and that's where all the stuff, the action was taking place, or the event, I guess. He didn't say event, but that's where it was happening. And let's see, what else, Alex? Did I miss something? He kept getting a canal, but its purpose was not to carry water. The water was underground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people want water.
Wow.
That's about what I have written down.
Cool. Good job, sweetie.
Wow. And he felt like he wasn't getting it the whole time.
It always feels that way. Now, how about Wayne and Mimi? What'd you guys get? You had some cool pictures
She
there.
was just elegantly simple, brief, short, but just exactly on target. Perfectly.
Very good.
Very good.
There wasn't a lot, but
The Big Bang, basically.
explosion, light, red energy, dark, spheres.
Wow.
Cool.
Sheets of light, explosion light, coiled, mushroom shape, explosive flash here.
An explosion, spheres,
And that's all there was.
Cool. Excellent. We have a report on our website on the creation of the universe from various viewers, new viewers who had viewed it. One of our other classes who had just viewed it with new viewer sessions, and you can see how your stuff compares to another class that was new. These are just as good and different. Everyone comes in with a different perspective. It's very much an archetype. It's almost like you're pulling on your own mythology to explain something that is unexplainable. It is completely intractable. I think that it's one of those things that we don't have language for. So you do the best you can.
Right. But
So you would get the goddess because that is so you.
like the little girl.
Yeah.
the little young-
The diva. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she was dancing.
Exactly.
And little and
the spinning.
just excited, and here she is, happy, wee.
Yeah.
And making things.
Yeah.
Oh no, I fucked up, and whoa, I gotta go do the other thing.
Disappointment,
Yeah.
sadness.
In the.
You keep the CDs, yes.
I was wondering.
You just don't keep the CD player.
That's my CD player.
Oh, well, they keep the CD player. Oh. Oh, no, just the ones that I brought you don't keep. But you keep the CDs are our gift to you, part of the class.
Thank you. So many
I
gifts.
was wondering, could we have done like when he was morphing with the the interdimensional whole thing, could we have done like a consciousness map on him as that in a way, and like to map the consciousness?
You can do consciousness maps on things. Absolutely. We do that all the time.
For that, like
Yeah.
that
Yes.
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 That would have been really.
It would have been really cool. Yeah.
We're supposed to.
Yeah.
If you got
another hour.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting for everybody
Yeah.
to do a some sort of healing on themselves or something.
Yeah.
Stuff in that consciousness.
Yeah, we were going to do a whole nother, but of course, time gets away, and today was especially
Like the flower.
with all the our self-induced blackout. So we were going to do a healing session to wrap up the class, to do a nice healing session. But we won't have time for that now, which is okay because you have the tools now to do it yourself. And the thing which is really fun about all these things are that you can take this home now and do anything. You can discover anything about anything that you like. Yes, sir.
No, I'm just waving energy at you.
I so need it right now.
Okay.
Thank you. Yay! And I'll give some back.
Just a dessert from us.
No, it is my nature. I'm the mothership. I have to give it out. It so rarely comes in. It is my nature.
You could trade places with Madonna.
You know what? I would so love to do that this evening. Be a fitting evening to the show.
Time too.
She does work her butt off all the time.
The same thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite literally.
She has her stuff together.
So I'm going to pass around a paper now, and this is I'm going to call it the class contact list. And this is the contact information that you would not mind sharing with everyone else in the class. And that way I can make a copy of this and email it out to everyone, and you'll have everyone's contact information. You can email, keep in touch with everyone. And put your name,
Oh, and you said you had a book.
email. I do. I have to actually mail it to people because I totally blipped and didn't pick it up from the printers. This has been actually a very nutty few weeks here.
And one other thing, I'd just like to know what the target was for the one that you did in the class with the BBC guys.
Oh, that was the same thing I actually gave you guys last night at dinner. The Taliban blowing up the statues.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So I got like a big subject who was in stasis, who
But you
didn't
know
move.
it last night? You didn't know it last night, did you?
I knew it. I didn't know it the night before. I didn't know it all day until right before class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right before dinner. You told me right before dinner. So put your name, email, address, and phone, or whatever you want to share.
That's a good
I just want to say
And then-
you've been itching to just...
Oh my gosh, Lena's had something really important to say.
Well,
Oh wait, well, okay, say it.
okay, just to get off my chest, one of the things I like to do is integrate critical thinking skills with intuitive skills. And just a comment about the blackout and everything that I believe in starting. I think it's a mistake to start thinking from a conclusion. If you start with a conclusion or a foregone conclusion, that's a mistake. I think it's always better to start from a state of not knowing in terms of something, which is not to discount your past warnings, the evidence and everything, but it makes me feel uncomfortable to make it a foregone conclusion or a fact that it in fact was some kind of EMS pulse or something like that.
The only way we would know is to view it. It's an unknown.
And I think that's the best way to stay, is you start from not knowing and just be open to maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's evidence in its favor. But it's an unknown right now.
John said that PNNE told him that.
Pardon me?
John said that the electrical guys told him it was a EMF.
Yeah,
It's
but
still,
it could be a pulse
yes,
meter line,
but I'm saying it's still an unknown.
It is an unknown. We actually haven't drawn any conclusions on it. I mean, we're having fun saying that, but
I know, but I think it's a trap.
The point was that we didn't understand maybe that we're not supposed to. They don't do anything classified. They don't.
So I have to say thank you for attending the class for Ted's benefit. Thank you.